January 29th, 2022. Greenwald.substack.com/censorship the pressure. The pressure campaign on Spotify to remove Joe Rogan reveals the religion of liberals. Censorship. All factions at certain points succumb to the impulse to censor. But for the Democratic Party's liberal adherents, silencing their adversaries has become their primary objective. The article begins. American liberals are obsessed with finding ways to silence and censor their adversaries. Every week, if not every day, they have new targets they want to deplatform, ban, silence, and otherwise prevent from speaking or be heard. And by liberals, I mean self-deprecating term used by liberals in the bowels of the establishment Democratic Party. For years, their preferred censorship tactic was to expand and distort the concept of hate speech to mean views that make us uncomfortable, and then demand that such hateful views be prohibited on that basis. For that reason, it is now common to hear Democrats assert falsely that the First Amendment guarantees free speech. However, that does not protect hate speech. Their political culture has long inoculated them to believe that they can comfortably silence dissent, and whatever views they can comfortably or arbitrarily replace could establish a political victory emanating within the effects of a guilt trip or censorship overload. This propaganda has manifested constitutional illiteracy, and within the hate speech framework for justifying censorship is now government blue dog sanctioned, which makes liberals even more thirsty to defranchise an even broader group of Americans, dehumanize them into being hateful. That is why the newest and most popular censorship framework is to claim that their targets are guilty of spreading, quote, misinformation or disinformation. These terms by design have no clear or concise meaning, so they, like George W. Bush's term terrorism, thrive on their own merit with an elasticity that makes them so useful and so fitting for propaganda and manufacturing consent to the masses to divide and extract the wealth. When liberals' favorite media outlet, from CNN and NBC to the New York Times and the Atlantic, spent 4 years disseminating one fabricated Russia story after the next, from the Kremlin's hacking into Vermont's heating system and Putin's alleged sexual blackmail over Trump. What about the bounties on the heads of U.S. soldiers in Afghanistan? To the Biden email archives, all of it being nothing but Russian disinformation and a magical, mystical device of weaponry, dividing and deriding, which is what propaganda is for. A distraction, a sick bat rather than a lab leak. Sounds like an overstated claim. Certainly not a legitimate second perspective. It's medical misinformation. So don't listen. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. It's just misinformation. So now the only two choices are unthinking submission to their new narratives or to be a pawn or agent in their quest for dominion and power. Once again, only two choices, But the real dissent doesn't even exist to them. And any deviation from their worldwide view, inherently dangerous. So then they are keeping the community safe. And to that point, not only is the dissent misinformation, but it is also hostile. Glenn Greenwald, news source journalism citing Substack.com.